All right, all right. Good morning, good morning. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely early morning in which the Most High, a higher has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming again with the portal of the right hand of power, part 3. And I'm going to sum it up right here. Um, the beauty in what this message, part 1, 2, and 3, it turns you back to the face of Yah. Mhm. It takes you right back to the face of Yah and his power. You see? So anybody or that would come to this page and not hear the full matter is because they don't know who they are. I put it like that. And I'm not going to say no more than that. Because opening up the portal of the right hand of the power, part 3, is just going to send the end of the matter. Okay? It's going to kind of close out. And the thing about it, another good thing about it is it's not that people are to go to this page and I got it now, I understand. No. It's over. It's finished. These words in which Yah is suffering me to speak is what goes in the backpack, what goes in the backpack of the elects. Why? It's time to take the journey. You running. You running. It's time to take the journey. And when you take this journey, the world would say you better take food and water and tissue paper and all these things that feeds the flesh. Sister Deborah is saying the message in which she has spoken in the last 4 years she's been on here has been about packing your backpack. It's time to run. It's over. So now that it's over, what do you need to do? Take off running. Because don't forget, you got to finish at the finish line. A lot of people don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about it. I know about it because the Father told me that he had to give me the endurance spirit. And I glorify him, I praise him, I thank him for that. Because I know there's no way I can finish this race. But because of what he's willing to invest in me, in my spirit, I'm going to run all the way to the finish line. So the topic of this message is open the portal of the right hand power, part 3. And what these messages, part 2 and part 3 does, it brings you back to the bosom, the face of a higher. So you can see how we have given the power, the authority, the right, the upright. We have given everything to flesh, to the heathens, to the Gentiles, to our people and others, and have taken it out of the place in which it started, and that is in the heaven. Now, what Sister Deborah is saying, and no, you can't go to heavens and take it out. But what heaven intends for man to be able to embrace for help in the time of good times and in the times of bad time, we as flesh and blood has smeared it and has destroyed it, that which Yah has prepared for us to use in this journey. We destroyed it, and we're still today destroying it. I seen on my page exactly an example, and I thank the Father for it because it made me see that you don't have to upload a video to prove that people like to hear trash. I was looking at the one I put up and showed the picture of Cliffo Dollar, and you got more viewers. Isn't that sad? You see what I'm talking about? That's sad. It's real sad. It's sad because it shows you people don't want nothing. They yearn nothing. They yearn not for the spirit and truth and the stuff that is that which is righteous. But did not Ahiah say that? He said, Deborah, I kept the light on in Genesis. I told him I had the flaming sword to turn all ways in all directions that they may find their way to the tree of life. So when people really think that they have the power to make choices and this is my will, I do what I want to, they're going to realize something. Let's see what your will do once he sniffed that breath of life. What happened to your will? What happened to your choice? Why ain't you making your choice? When you talk about you have a choice, you got to see how ignorant you sound. How real ignorant you sound when you say you have a choice. Because if you ain't got the choice of life and death, somebody come up to you and pull a gun on you, what choice do you have that they pop you and you dead? What choice do you have? The number one choice, when you claiming you got a choice, you better claim life and death. And if you can't claim that, sit your tail down. You don't have a choice. And if you had a choice, why is it he said your name is written in the Lamb book of life? Past tense. When? Before the foundation of the world. What choice do you have in this? Really, what choice do you have? You have the choice of your ugly flesh to do ugly, wicked, and evil things. That's it. Your spirit is already assigned to eternal heaven or to the lake of fire. I think I bust somebody's bubble. That is what you call spirit and truth. And if you see yourself walking outside of what the prophetess and the prophets are saying, and you see yourself on the total other side, oh no, we want to follow this and we want to follow that. Guess what? Good luck on the other side. So I'm going to start with the opening up the portal of the right hand of power. I'm taking the power and the authority. I'm taking righteousness, just, upright, endurance, long suffering, faith. I'm taking it back and giving it to where it's due. The most high, higher. You can go on and continue giving it yours where you want it. That's on you. But I'm taking it back in part 1, part 2, and part 3, and giving the glory and the honor back to where it is due. Okay? And we're talking about the power of the Father. Because so many people got detached to wanting to control people, and that's really what it's all about, y'all. And I want to say to you all that there is strictly light, what I'm saying. It is strictly light. People just so eager to get you under their control, to deceive you, to bring you to their page regardless of what it takes. They will say anything, they will do anything just to get you to go to their page. They have lied against the Creator just to get you to go to their page. They have taken all the glory for their page just to get you to go to their page. They have taken the glory for themselves. They have taken the honor. They have taken the praise. And y'all don't have no issue with that. Why? Because anything and everything about you was already seen before the foundation of the world. So the way that you cutting up on the floor up, y'all done seen it, and he already assigned it. It's eternal life in the lake of fire or in the New Jerusalem. He already assigned it. So if you think that, okay, I can cut up from the floor, I can disrespect and dishonor, profane his name, and do whatever I want here, it don't matter. Man told me I'm going in the New Jerusalem anyway, because my name is a part of the tribe of Judah. I'm one of the 12 tribes. See how they mess y'all up? What you didn't know is 144. First, I want to get that cleared up. That 144 is I would say, Sister Deborah, she's trying to show you how it's very narrow. Okay? It's very few. That 144 out of, listen to what I'm saying, out of the 12 tribes, it's like 1%, give or 2%. So when you thinking you in there, you better check your birth certificate. You better check your birth certificate. Because if you think for 1 minute that you're going to continue to teach men, I'm talking to men now, like I always do, to teach men how to hate, and you have sent out the spirits, usher the spirits through your words. Because what you didn't know, there was a spirit called hate that went out with your message. Okay? And it has pierced many males. And they pierce many males. And they pierce many males. And this is where they are at. Anytime your household or children, mothers, females, or whatever are in error, it comes from the Father. Okay? The Father. I don't care if it's on her father's side or on her mother's side. It comes from the Father. And you all have lied, and you want Sister Deborah not to say anything about what's in the light. Use a lie from a dark hole that you dug for yourself and don't understand how dark it is. Because the truth be told, it all extended from man. So he can, y'all just letting him blame whoever he want. 1 minute he want to blame the heathens. Next minute he want to blame the women. Next minute he want to blame the heathens. Next minute he want to blame the women. Y'all said you same thing Adam did in the garden. He never owned up to it. Y'all never knew that, did you? He never said, yeah, I was wrong from disobeying your commandment and your law that you laid down. You only gave me one, and I still disobeyed it. So what makes you think in this day and time that they can really lead something in the positive direction? Can they do it? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Do Ahia have some that can or that is? Yes, he does. And guess what they doing now? Let me tell y'all what they doing. They thirsty. They thirsty. Constantly in thirst for righteousness. They constantly in thirst for spirit and truth. They ain't let up because they want to be found in what is righteous, not what is unrighteous, and thinking because I'm a king and a leader and man told me I am. You don't hear nothing like that in Deuteronomy endgame. Don't tell you you's a king and a leader, so you have lied to start a newfound religion called the Hebrew Israelite awakening and the Hebrew Israelite cult. That's all that is, because it's nothing else in them that's teaching spirit and truth. It's nothing in them teaching righteousness. And they tell women to shut up because women so ignorant, they don't even understand. They are the one that hold the spirit and truth. And that's why they want you to shut up. They want you to shut up. Oh yeah, they want you to keep quiet. They only believed Paul when he was telling stuff like that. Now they done away with Paul because what they did is they kept reading. They found out Paul was really telling them something. So they done away with Paul because Paul don't line up with what they want to say. Paul don't line up no more for the way they want to feel. Paul don't line up no more. Paul lying now. Paul ain't real. Paul this and Paul that. I was you all. I would never curse not one person in this book. Not one person. Because when you curse them in this book and make them wrong, and here you living today, ain't got no righteous in you from head to toe, teaching all this darkness, but yet you're going to curse the ones that's in here that has been, that a higher have suffered to remain these thousands of years in there. For what? Because there's something in there that he wants to teach us. It's something he wants to reveal to us. And for us to just curse it and say, oh, it ain't it. Know why? Now you're being a king and a leader don't feel so good, because we're coming to the light of all your darkness, and the darkness of your forefather is coming to light. So now you don't like what the book is saying. Now they're dissing the New Testament. They're dissing Paul. They're dissing some of the stuff in the Old Testament. You can take away and add and smear along with everybody. But this is what I realized. The tribe of Judah is such a ill people. I mean, wicked ill. To the point they don't see, they tear each other in and out and down. But let the heathens stand high and tall in every wicked and evil they do. What I'm saying is, this leads you to realize that people who say that they have the Ruach and they are righteous and they for a higher, they not lining up. It's not matching. Why would a higher bring a spirit of discerning down to rest in his if they can't use the spirit of discerning? Let me tell you what they did. They destroyed the power, y'all. They destroyed the power that y'all gave them to reveal things to them, to show them things, to help them out in the body of Hamashiach. Those wicked ones of the tribe of Judah destroyed all the gifts that y'all poured out. You know, y'all don't take the gift back. It's always resting therein, because where he placed it is in your spirit, and that's where it's rest. That's why people don't understand opening up the portal of the right hand of power. It's coming to let you know that that power rests within. Open that thing up and let a higher bring it out. 99.1 million wouldn't. Why? Because they have listened to the darkness of man. And in their own tribe, I call out Judah, to where they can't even see they left and they right. That's how much darkness they in. They can't see their left hand nor their right hand, because it's pitch dark and they can't see it. That means it's something so deep in them. And it ain't something that Sister Deborah can deliver or reveal. It's something that a higher has shown me, not to be able to get on this devil platform and crack the code or crack the nut and give them what they need. No, it's over. It's finished. It's just showing you that there's so much darkness that's coming to light. Many of you all are not going to be able to digest it. Many of you all are not going to even be able to embrace it, because you've been in darkness so long you can't even see yourself seeing light. Okay, now I want to go to opening up the portal of the right hand of the power. This is a higher himself. Okay, coming forth in the last days, and where you're going to see some things that's taking place. One of them, like I explained to you all, which I know many are not really listening, but that's still good, because y'all's T's been crossed. His I's been dotted. He has been already marked in their forehead. So what are you talking about? Who you trying to lead? Who you trying to guide? Who you trying to tell what to do or how to do it? You see what I'm saying? If you ain't bringing and staying, walking in that light to reveal who higher has already set the pace for the light to show up what darkness really was and is and shall be, you got to get away from those who have been doing it for so long, and see how they are chasing the music, the sound of Satan on these devil platforms. They only chase after the issues of the world. They don't tell you, well, wait a minute, y'all, we got to pack our backpack. Make sure your backpack is packed. Make sure it's everything you need is in there. And I'm not talking about tissue paper. And I'm not talking about food. I'm not talking about flashlights or emergency band-aids and all that stuff. I'm talking about your spirit. Make sure your spirit is packed with spirit and truth. Not with this nonsense they teaching you, but with spirit and truth. So I'm going to start off really where I left off yesterday. I want to go to Psalms 89. And I'm not planning on being long. I'm just planning on going straight through all these verses just to kind of show you uh, that you have missed it all. Say for instance, Sister Deborah, if I'm 60, and let me tell you, at 60 years old, I can say people that are 60, they have missed it all. Even to today, they still missing it because they have been blindsided by their own uh, understanding. You know, no one can come and do things to keep you from knowing spirit and truth, from keep you from finding the light and wanting to walk therein, or even keep you from wanting to thirst for what is righteous. But you yourself, who are already assigned, people do not understand. The lake of fire was created for those he already have assigned for it. Okay, so it's not your choice to determine where you're going. You're going there whether you like it or not. You can't come here thinking, oh, I'm Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And oh, forget about the things you've done to people. How you put blood on everybody's hand so the minds of the men can go out there and be negative toward their families and wives, which they have always been. See, it was time for them to really, when they woke up to anything, it should have been to do the will of the Father. See, when you say you have awoken or you are awakened, it first has to start spirit. It has to start in your spirit. But what the Hebrew Israelite movement did, they started from the flesh and never made it to the spirit. So that's what you see today. Okay. And I thank the Most High for having his angels to mark his. I thank him for that. I really do. Psalms 89 and verse 13. Psalms 89 and 13, it reads, Thou hast a mighty arm. 89 of Psalms, verse 13. Thou hast a mighty arm. Strong is thy hand, and high in thy right hand. See, you all don't understand. 3 years ago, I started telling people about this right hand, and this stretched out arm, and this arm and this right hand. I was telling them even when I was get on here, y'all come on, learn about the right hand and stretched out arm. And I look now 3 years later and realize, see how you've been telling them that 3 years ago. See, where are you at now, Deborah? Here you are, opening up the portal to the hand, the right hand and the power. See, you think that it's me. You think that this is just YouTube and you can get on here and hear all kinds. No. Let me tell you something. The light comes through truth. Okay? And it comes through the spirit of truth because flesh ain't got sense. Flesh ain't got nothing going for itself. It don't know how to do righteous. Flesh don't know how to do truth. That's how ignorant flesh is. So the only way Sister Deborah can come to you in righteousness would have to be spirit and truth. And that's any and everybody that want to preach to you and teach to you, they got to come spirit and truth. Any other route, they can't come. They can. That's the same route they've been coming. It's through your flesh. And you have been so content. So in Psalms chapter 89 and verse 13, Thou hast a mighty arm, strong in thy hand, and high in thy right hand. Y'all don't know who you messing with. You done messed up from the floor. You done messed up from the floor. Because you've given everybody the right to be praised. You've given everybody the right to be uplifted. You give everybody the right to get glory and honor. But you gave Yah nothing. And he had all the power in his right hand and in his arm to create the beginning to the end and any and everything in between. You turn your head, a face fully from him, and you took on the battle of Satan, standing on Satan's side, looking over, denying the power that rests therein, a higher. No, you don't know a higher. You don't know him until you know who his power is. Because his power came. His power what was saving you, y'all. His power stood up, redeeming you. His power upheld the sacrifice of the blood so it can complete its mission. Because the blood was willing to give up in Gethsemane. Oh, he said, take away. He said, take away this bitter cup. Hold up. No, no, you don't. Not my will, but thy will be done. You know why? Because the blood was about to fall. And he felt it. And then he said, oh, no, don't take it away. Not my will, but thy will. You see? That power wasn't going to let him do it no way, y'all. Because he came a long ways with him. He said, hold up. I understand what you're going through, and I know you're in that hour. I know it's time to complete the mission and close out. And I know it's pretty hard because now I have to come out of you. I can't let you use the power. I got to come out. I got to let you suffer that last hour. That's why you felt. That's why he also was going through this thing. Stay here, Peter, and the other disciple, others, I think it was 3 of them, disciples. I don't know how many it was, but he said, stay here and pray and stay up. And stay awakened until I come. And every time he come back, they will sleep. That right there shows you that was the time where the Yeshua, the Son of Man, didn't have the Son of Yah holding him up. Oh yeah, he had to go down in the flesh. He had to go down as you and I in the flesh for all of our sin as flesh. So he couldn't use the power. He couldn't use the spirit of Yah. He couldn't use the word. He had to go down as a man, as a flesh and blood human being, Son of Man. He had to go to that cross that way. Okay? So that's why he was disappointed in them when they kept falling asleep. But had the power and the spirit supported him, then it wouldn't be concerned. But it wasn't. He wanted someone to stay awake with him through this journey. But they kept falling asleep. Why? Because they were flesh and blood. So when he went out and he was leaving and he was went back out, he went to pray and telling him, oh, wait a minute, take away this bitter cup. Because this cup is heavy. Oh, yes, it is, y'all. It's heavy. But it's all well on the other side. All it takes is a blink and it's over. It's all well on the other side. So that was the flesh, and I thank the Most High Yah how beautiful he orchestrated that, the beginning to the end. I do, y'all. If you only could step in the realm of how he orchestrated everything from the heavens. And the reason why, that's why Sister Deborah tell you that I can't get with these people and understand where they're coming from and learn what they're saying, because when Ahia teach you, as a little girl, he teach you what took place first from the heavens, not what took place first on the earth. Because before there was an earth, there was a heaven. And in the heaven was the plan in Yah before the foundation of the world. Mm-hmm. So when you look at that, you say, well, okay, can't nobody override that, Father Yah. No, they can't. And that's why you heard several times. Now hear this. That's why you heard several times Yeshua said, it is not for me, but my Father. Because even he didn't know what was in the bosom of Yah. No. It's a lot of things. Even when the lady asked him, can I sit, or one son sit on the right and one son sit on, he said, no, that ain't for me to do. My Father in heaven, he's over that. And that's all the Son of Man did, came showing us that he is like unto us and that we need to trust in the higher power, which is the Father. And we reneged, we denied it. We all the way up until 2022 had no connection, none whatsoever. That's why everything is so little that's coming back to him. You see? Because he already know. That's because what people didn't understand, and I'm going to give you something that's, I guess I can call it a mystery. No, I don't even want to call it a mystery. Let me say this to you all, and this is for those who have an ear to hear, who are walking in the light. And that is this. 100 times 1 trillion don't know what I'm about to say. I'm just showing you how deep it is. People don't understand. Your mission didn't start on the earth. Mm-hmm. The reason why the Lamb Book of Life was already assigned in the heavens was because before he sent Sister Deborah down, he already knew my beginning to my end. Mm-hmm. He already knew it. Why? Because everything was orchestrated from his power. Mm, 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 mm. He seen it. He did it. The blueprint is printed up. He only have that one copy. He memorized it. He got it locked down. That means when you came into your mother's womb, he knew you before. You know why? He had your number, baby, from the beginning to the outer. Mm-hmm. He had your number. That's power, y'all. That's that power you keep denying. That's that power that they didn't teach you. In the beginning of this book to the end, he spoke of his right hand and his arm. And now one of you all ever knew what was going on. That right hand, when you learn of his right hand and his arm, you know he rules from the heaven. Woo, Father, y'all. And when I say rule from the heavens, the beginning to the end. So when Sister Deborah came in, guess what? He had her number already orchestrated from the beginning to the end. You see, that's why I tell you all, he ordered your steps. And the steps that he has ordered for you is give you a parable as you walking up the steps. Can you walk up the steps? You walk with your whole foot, both. And you walk up the steps. If he's ordered your steps, he don't order it backwards. He order it to go up. And if you ain't moved up a level since you've been born and you 59 years old and you ain't moved to the first level, that's why you're still stuck on ground level, because you was destined to be the one that Satan would use on that ground level. He already knew who Satan would use. Heavens knew already. Heavens already know how many is going to the lake of fire and how many is going in the New Jerusalem. So when we get here and try to orchestrate this book and all these lost books trying to make him a lie so we can live to be a truth and control people, it ain't gonna work out. Heavens had controlled it before the foundation of the world. It's finished. It's finished. That's what Solomon was talking about. Y'all didn't grip that either, did you? Solomon said, he asked Solomon what did he want? He said to know everything under the sun. Solomon wanted to know what's under the heavens. And once y'all showed him what's under the heaven, he said, wait a minute, hold up, Deborah. It was all vain and vast. I said, yeah, Solomon, I knew that already. Solomon said, well, you better remember that when you talking. I said, I tried to, because it's hard when you're living in the flesh to embrace all things in the spirit. It's hard. But you got to understand, through the spirit of the Ruach, don't ever say something is impossible. Because through that spirit alone, it will help you through this mission, through this journey. But yeah, Solomon did. He said it to me several times. Now you see. Because I'm like, well, why can't they do it? He says, Solomon said, Deborah, when I learned everything and I was preaching, I was teaching, I was on it, I was building for the Father, this and this. It was something I was doing everything, but then I realized, wait a minute, now everything is vain and vexed. And then he started to preach that. That started to be his message. And then he started to enjoy that which he had. Solomon knew that it all was vain and vexed. Another mystery is, and I don't think it's a mystery, it's just for those who are elect by the Most High or higher. That's why we don't give up the power like you all do. See, you think you living on this and you ruling, you rolling, and it's all on you. And I guess it's the flesh do. It has that mindset to think it is all that and something. It's so powerful. It's going to do this. It's going to do this. And I'm this and I'm that and I'm this and this. And guess what? It's the opposite of anything righteous. So that's why I say you can't stand on this platform and listen to this flesh talk with no spirit and truth. You say it can't be done. It can be. And that's what led the multitude through the great falling away. From what? What did they fall away from? First, I like to say to you all, they fell away from the power. And they fell away from the face of the most high, a higher, long time ago. Because of these messages that people are spilling out, that don't have no anointed, nor are they appointed. They don't have no spirit and truth connected to it. They just on here just teaching you all, and you all are just praising them and liking them. Oh, they this, oh, they. And they ain't turning none of their words to the face of a higher, a higher. Not nothing they're saying is really turning you to the face of the Creator Himself. But that's about right. That's how it has always been since heaven and since earth and heavens and earth has existed. They never turn their face to a higher. They're going to always turn their face to the flesh of man because they don't know. The broad gate leads people to the lake of fire. They don't know that, but that's what that broad gate is for. So therefore, many going to go in that direction. Now, whereas who has the right and the authority to say that? Those that are walking in the light, that know spirit and truth, because that's what Yah said. That proceeds out of the mouth of a higher, a higher. Why? Because heavens already know that his gate is narrow. He knows that the other gate that he created is broad. So why isn't he gonna have a narrow gate and a broad gate, and he ain't gonna know which way they going? Do that make any sense? But man gonna tell you when you going to hell, or hell is for you, or heaven is for you, or yeah, we going to the New Jerusalem. They can tell you, but y'all don't know. Come on now. That's taking the power out, y'all. This is what we did. We lied, and we continue to lie. And we content, and we happy lying. But we miserable in the spirit. And that's why the flesh is obese and the spirit is anorexia. Because we so busy taking care of that darkness part of us, we could care less about the light, which is our spiritual part that knows the things and can see the light and knows that, okay, this is the light I have to walk therein. Oh, your spirit knows. Oh, your spirit definitely knows what's right, even though it chooses what's wrong. But it's also choosing your destiny based on heaven. Heaven already know where you're going. Yah can tell you right now, if he wanted to, he can tell you right now how many is going and how many is going to the lake of fire and how many is going to the Jerusalem. If he chose to, he can actually tell you that. But he's not that type that have to answer to you, and he don't have to answer to me. Because he already got the number already. He got the individual. So they can get on this devil platform and sing all kind of yang, 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 yang to you all day and all night. You can praise him and glorify them and give them glory all day and all night. Give them likes and subscribes all day and all night. But guess what? Heaven's already said it's all well. They're going to the same place. See there? So opening up the portal so you all to understand that the power of that right hand, because in that arm has always been present and you have denied it. And that's like a lot of other things. Like I was telling them on the live yesterday and many other messages that the word love, there's no such thing. You got to detach give. Give is always founded around that word love. Why? Because that's the true action. Y'all is about action, not about your word. See, man put that in there. And one person asked about the charity and That charity, the number one charity organization is Catholics. And they the number one demonic spirit that exists on the face of the earth today. Yes. They started that. They put that in there. Okay? That's why they said that's the greatest, and we're the greatest. We the one do all the charity work and do this and give that. Yes, you're giving what you have stolen since the earth exists. You just stole all of it, so why can't you give it's like having $1 million and giving somebody a penny. That's what people don't understand. They ain't giving you nothing. They giving you a penny. And you too ignorant to realize that giving me a penny can't compare from what you done stole, what you done killed, what you done destroyed, what you took. And the wicked that's behind it is based on how long they've been doing it. They don't even see where they can't do it no longer. We've been getting away with this for too long. It's been our part of who we were since we know. So we ain't gonna stop this. We've been doing it for too long. So I came up with this when I went to New York. I was wondering, why was I seeing symbols that the Spirit told me was the powerful symbol that's on the face of the earth. And when I was like that, I said, wait a minute, babe, but Father, this symbol is almost like a woman's organs. And I say, they took on that symbol? I was like, wow. In all these years, not one Hebrew Israelite can identify, not one Hebrew Israelite can identify the symbol. Isn't that sad? And don't even see the marking of Satan on the face of the earth. They can't even identify. Because what? Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute, Deborah. Ain't they awakened? See, this is what I'm saying. Why haven't you awakened to the right hand and the stretched out arm? So that the people can understand that that's a characteristic of the power. And not you having land, not you having buildings, not you having something outside in the woods, still owe the man for, because it ain't still yours, is what you're saying. And how one is stealing from the people to create certain things and saying that he's doing the work. And like, y'all don't see what's going on. Yeah, come on now. We in midnight hour. So any lies and everything that they're doing is going to bring them comfort, because we are there in the midnight hour, and that's where they're going to remain. Even when they hit the lake of fire, they're going to still probably be trying to think, if I only had me more of this and more of that, as they burn eternal. So that was one of my verses, and I'm going to go Psalms 89, verse 13. Thou hast a mighty arm, strong in thy hand and high in thy right hand. That's Yah. Let's go to 63. Psalm 63. And if you can even go to the beginning all the way to the Revelation, and you're going to hear about this right hand and it's stretched out on. And it's sad, because you hear these Negroes talking about how, well, they brought the children of Israel out of the Pharaoh's Pharaoh's hand, and Moses did this, and Moses did this, Aaron did this, and Miriam did this, but didn't even see the right hand, nor the stretched out arm. They don't even know nothing about the whole host of heaven bringing them out. They don't know nothing about any of that, because they're ignorant in everything they teach, they preach, and they lead you in, because they have no spirit and truth of any matter of what they're saying. They're only telling you from what somebody told them. Still yet behind the rectum of the heathens. That's all I can think of. That's all I can line it up with. They ain't coming out that rectum. Oh no. They're going to stay right there in the rectum of the heathens. That's why they see it. They think, oh, I can go over to the Patriot, or I can go over here to this here and start a new page, or I can go on this here, start. This one man, he's an herbalist, I think that's what they call it, and he was making all these different things, and then he's talking about, well, I'm going to do this, and now I hear him saying he's going over to Ghana. And I'm like, what happened? You opened up your own new page and said this. See, I don't care what road you travel, baby. I don't care what land you get. I don't care what you think you got that somebody else don't got or have. I don't care how you make videos and make people mislead. He was telling people about all that crypto and all. Just a lot of things that has to do with worldly matters. But people was eating up his page. And I'm like, he ain't leading them nowhere. But now he's going to go over to Ghana. I'm saying, wow, what a move. Oh, it's getting bad. It's getting real bad over here. Good luck. Good luck. I don't touch Africa. I wouldn't even, don't ever go there, y'all. Let's put it like that. Wait on a higher and let him show you what he's going to do. Because that same right hand and that stretched out arm, many of these people are denying and don't know. They denying it. A lot of them don't know nothing about it, because they were just that ignorant in their learning. And in their schools that taught them, and in their parents that taught them one way, and in their scholars and their Hebrew, they just get so tied up in everything, they don't have no spirit and truth to back them up in nothing they say. Nothing. They can just talk. They can go in this book and just talk, because they've been trained so long from this book that they can't come outside of this book. And they don't understand this book is not spirit and truth. Now, Yah, which is spirit, can bring truth out of something that's said in here and bring it to the light. But not as far as you just going in there, oh, it said this, or and Enoch book and all these other books, they gone. They gone. That was the end game of the curse, that you be gone here. They didn't see or get that either. Okay, Psalms 63 and verse 8. Psalm 63 and verse 8, and it reads, my spirit follows hard after thee. Thy right hand uphold me. See? You see what I'm saying, y'all? While we sitting here giving glory and honor to all this flesh, and he using all that he has within him, even pouring out his grace and mercy, and we ignoring it all. How do you think he pouring out that grace and mercy? With that right hand. You see what I'm saying? And we standing around here thinking it's about a man being a king and a leader, trying to make him a king and a leader. He can't be a king and a leader, and a king and a leader is not in him. So you trying to make him be something that Yah has not birthed in him, you still messed up from the floor with him. Okay? So I like that because it's still taking the power and giving it back to a higher to whom it belongs. Let's go to Psalms 60 and 5. Let's go to Psalm 60 and 5. In Psalms 60 and verse 5, it reads, that thy beloved may be delivered, saved with thy right hand, and hear me. Saved with thy right hand, and hear me. And this was those that was of David, teaches the stolen, and return and smart Edom in the valley. Yeah, this was Yah dealing with David and those that he was with. Okay, but in Psalm 60 verse 5, thy beloved be delivered, saved with thy right hand, and hear me. You see, so you don't understand this, y'all. Y'all still don't understand. Being saved don't mean because you believe in Yeshua HaMashiach. Only one can save you is that right hand. That's the HaMashiach. That's why you got to come through that door. Yeshua HaMashiach. He that believe in Yeshua HaMashiach shall be saved. You first believe. And that's the key, y'all. I'm sorry to tell y'all. That is the key. So any heathens, any Gentiles, any Hebrew Israelite, if you don't believe what is spirit and truth, the truth of the matter, how can you receive when you don't fully believe? You believe in what you've been taught. You believe in what people told you, what people said to you, how your mama went to church and how you was in the Christian church. You was in the Hebrew Israelite movement. You learned based on man's mouth, which failed Yah in the beginning, with no repentance, none whatsoever. Repentance is when you can own up to your sin. Did Adam own up to his sin? Nope. He never repented. And that's why you see men where they at today. They don't want to go. They want to talk about Torah. But when you talk about Torah, your butt better not come this way because you don't know nothing about spirit and truth. You want to talk that which make you feel like you a man, you a king. I would rather give up trying to even be a fleshly king, a fleshly leader, if I have nothing that is spirit and truth, that roars at all righteousness. This is sad. Now let's go to Psalms 16 and 11. Why are you on and in Psalms, and why is Psalms talking so much about the right hand and the arm? Let me tell you why. It's because David got a taste of that power. And David said, you can say what you want to the way you want it and how you want it. That's all I had, and that's all I needed. It brought me out of many wars. I fought wars from the beginning to the end. Do you think for 1 minute I'm going to turn down the one that upheld me and kept me and that fought the battles for me for real? Use a fool, use a fool, and use a fool. David will come back and tell y'all messed up from the floor. Because if y'all denied the power, that you ain't got nothing coming. And that is so true. But they don't understand that. You can't have nothing. The power is a highest right hand. It is his stretched out arm. And if you don't believe that the power rests therein through Yeshua HaMashiach, really HaMashiach, but the mission was through the blood and then the power, then you just out there. You can't say, oh, I believe in Jesus Christ, or I believe in HaMashiach, Yeshua HaMashiach. Well, okay, stop. Y'all go back. So take them all the way back, Deborah. He that believe in what? See? People's belief is not what Sister Deborah's teaching you. They belief was only to believe in what the flesh had taught them, had molded in them when they was young, had manipulated them and deceived them. They never believed in spirit and truth. They never believed in the truth of the matter. That's why the light, the flaming sword, was left on. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how deep the flaming sword was. In Genesis chapter 3. I'm going to tell you how deep the flaming sword has been and is and was. In Genesis chapter 3, in verse 24, so he drove out the man. This is it. And he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden, cherubim, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. Where was that at, Sister Deborah? That's in Genesis chapter 3, verse 24. So the light always been on, y'all. Turning any way you go so you can find your way to the tree of life. And I'm going to give you some power that rests therein. I'm going to give you some power that rests therein. Guess what? In Genesis 6, he spoke about destroy the world. And he did it. The book of, not the book of, but Noah and the ark, when he destroyed the world, guess what? The flaming sword was still there. Yes. When everything was finished and Noah and his 3 sons and everything started to come back, guess what? The flaming sword had never left. The flood can't destroy a higher flaming sword that turns every way to the tree of life. So what are you saying, Deborah? Whoop! They couldn't destroy it. It's always was, and it is, even to today. They cannot destroy that. The flood cannot be, Yah didn't suffer the flood to destroy the way to the tree of life. Isn't that beautiful? Why? Why are you saying that, Deborah? He destroyed everything. Why are you saying it? Because it is spirit and it is truth. It is what Yah placed there in spiritual realm that we may find the tree of life through the light. I don't know what these people on this devil platform teaching you all, and I could care less. Because in me, I believe what he said. It's finished, Deborah. It's over. Okay, let's go to Psalms 6 and verse 11. Did I do that one? No. Psalms 16. I'm on 6. Psalms 16. I think I did that one, didn't I? Let's see here. Psalm 16 and verse 11, and it reads, Thou will show me the path of life. In the presence is the fullness of joy. Yes, it is. At the right hand, there are pleasures forever. At the right hand. See, we have forsaken the right hand and the stretched out arm. And it has always been there to give us everything we need. to walk in any type of journey that Yah has set. And we have denied the power therein. Okay, let's go to Psalms 108. The reason why David is putting this, the reason why it's coming out of David is because David used it the most. David knew how to use it. David said, you crazy if you think I'm going to deny the power. That's the only reason why I'm here. I can't hold this. I can't fight these battles and these armies and all these issues. You crazy? He honored, salute, and honored the power of a higher, which 99 trillion won't do today. They still up in they self. One thing I learned in this day and time, people have let their emotions and their feelings override their spirit, and that's sad. That means you ain't got a chance on earth to get it right. See, because they let their flesh feelings and their emotions override righteousness and just, to where they can't see anything outside of what they believe and what they see and believe. They don't have none whatsoever spirit and truth in them. And they don't want it. They could care less. They're doing so well with the devil on the devil platform, they just figure this is all I need. I don't need all that. That's what they take in. But this is my messages has always been for the elects. I'm now giving you other items to put in your backpack because it's time. It's over. Start running. Okay? You should have been running, but keep running. Okay? Psalms 108 and verse 6, and it reads, that thy beloved may be delivered, save with the right hand, and answer me. A lot of people do not understand. In the Christian church, they used to say, oh, I'm saved. I'm saved. If I today would say to them, what would save you? Jesus, Hamashiach, even the Hebrew Israelite, Hamashiach. No. Yeshua can't save you. And he never said he could. He told you his purpose. And he also led you to the purpose of a higher. You just decided you didn't want to have nothing to do with that side because that's too much power. That's too much spirit and truth. So here, people don't understand when they tell me I'm saved, baby, saved from what? Saved. What do you mean? You see how people been taught and drilled. I heard black men and black women saying we were, they took our minds and they destroyed our minds. They messed us up. Let me tell you why they didn't do that. The reason why I say that the heathens didn't mess you up, you mess yourself up. Let me tell you why. When you stand before a higher, you're not going to stand before how higher said, when you took me to the land where they kept me in a press and they did. When y'all going to say, well, no, wait a minute, hold up. They did or did I do that? You see? See how spirit and truth got to come out in the last days because they've been telling a lie. Now watch this here. Well, they was hanging us and killing our men and raping our women. Y'all would say, well, wait a minute, hold up. What was you doing over in the promised land? Flowing with milk and honey. Were not you doing identical what you said they were doing? Because I brought you to the land in which you was alike over there. I brought you to the people that does the same thing you do, except that they was doing it to you, what you was doing over there. So a lot of men don't understand bucking. They don't understand homosexual. They go up against homosexual and sex trafficking. Baby, you started it in the land flowing with milk and honey and didn't even know it. Back in Genesis, you felt that your children, your daughters, was only worth what you can sell. Her body was what you were selling. That's what they were doing. That's all women was created in man's eyes for. And y'all said, hold up. You better take your tail back where it is written from the beginning. That was not so. Deborah, and from the beginning, I said them. So when he did it to her, he did it to him. And I'm coming for him. That's it. So all the lies and manipulation and all the deceiving things they've been using for years, leave them alone, y'all. Let them go. It's over. It's over. They can't even come back to turn it around. It's over. He's getting them based on what already he has sent the prophets to already say. It's over. You can't go back and turn none of that crap back around. You done put too much blood on so many men's hands to hate women and to not do what they should supposed to do in their household. You wanted them to come to your church for them so you can get their money and do what and manipulate their minds and give them young virgins on your land. Oh God, he got something for you. He got something for you. Sister Deborah can't put the day and the hour, but I tell you what, I've seen it already. Hold up, just hold up. A little while longer. Just hold up. So if you try to challenge the idea that the prophets have said something and they not come to pass, you got another thing coming, baby. Ain't nothing I've said that ain't gonna come to pass. And when it do, you gonna remember who said it. So in Psalms chapter 108, verse 6, it says that thy beloved may be delivered, save with the right hand, and answer me. See, save. And when you save, you start to answer to who? Answer him. Who is him? The one that saved you. So why are we answering to man? Why are we figuring we have to abide by? When I say man, I'm not talking about your husband, or I'm talking about these men on these platforms. That's really when I be saying something, that's really what I be saying. I'm not talking about really people's husbands in their household and marriages. No. I'm talking about these knuckleheads who have misled people in the tribe of Judah with this here. I'm a leader, I'm a ruler, I'm a king, I'm the man of the house. And you ain't the man of nothing because you don't even feed your children. You don't even pay the bills. You don't do anything. Why? Because that's given to your household. That's given. And you want to rule it? How can you rule it? And you have nothing to rule it with outside of your flesh control. Who wants somebody to rule something out with their flesh control? No spirit and truth or nothing. No job, no money, no nothing, but come on, rule me with your flesh. You's a fool if you allow that. Okay, now in Psalms 78, and I'm going to have to cut off, Psalm 78 and 54, it reads, Psalm 78 and 54, it reads, and he brought them to the border of his sanctuary, even to the mountains, which his right hand had purchased. His right hand had purchased. Y'all tell me, ain't that deep? See, y'all don't get it, do you? You don't get it, do you? His right hand is his power. What? His right hand is his power. Has purchased the mountains. How did it purchase it? Because it created it. With what? The right hand. He created the mountains with what? That right hand of power. See how y'all missed it? See how y'all missed it? Still missing it. That's how he purchased it. He brought it forth with that right hand. Y'all done missed it. See what I'm saying? Now, in verse 74, Psalm 74 and verse 111, that's a Psalms 74, that can't be, verse 11. That's it. Psalm 74, verse 11. Why withdraw thy hand, even thy right hand? Pluck it out of thy bosom. Let's go to 10 to try to get some understanding. Oh, yeah. Oh, seemed like David's trying to say so. Somebody said something to Ohio. Oh, yeah. How long shall the adversary reapproach? Shall the enemy blaspheme the name forever? Why withdraw thy hand, even thy right hand? Pluck it out of thy bosom. Oh, they want that right hand to come forth and tear up the enemy. That's what that was about. Come on with that right hand. We know what it's capable of doing. That's what I'm trying to say to you all. How did David and his people know about the right hand? We sitting around here thinking we all let in something and don't know nothing about the right hand. We want to talk his word and he ain't even speaking out of his mouth. We want to teach his word, and he ain't even speaking out of his mouth. We want to say we know all the books that's lost and all the 1611 and all this and all that, and ain't heard nothing that proceed out of his mouth in spirit and in truth. Here they trying to get him to bring that right hand up out. Come on with it. We need it. And that's why we are suffering many things today, because we denied the power, even to today. To me, I would suggest that you look, you do your search, and you start in Genesis and go all the way, and start where the power began. In the beginning, Genesis chapter 1. Ahia said, let, and that right hand power brought it forth. It was the let and the power that rests within him. His right hand brought it forth. See, we missed it way back in Genesis. So when I post that thing about Cliff O'Donnell saying that Yah spoke to him one night and told him that if you really want to get it, you got to go back to Genesis. I've been telling y'all that for years. That's where it rests. When somebody comes hooping and hollering, Torah, Torah, hit Torah to the curve. Because you master Torah and they didn't taught you Torah back and front to back. That's where you can trap people in, is Torah. Y'all say he ain't having it. Go somewhere and sit down. Clown. He ain't having it. You got to go back to Genesis, and the only way you can go back there if you have to thirst. You have to thirst for righteousness. The way Yah designed it. Not the way man wants to make it look really pretty. So you can get added in. No, baby, it ain't gonna be like that. Y'all ain't gonna be standing before y'all and say, well, I was in slavery and they took my wife and they took my children. Or I was in slavery, they took my husband. And baby, let me tell you something. Did y'all not know what took place? They had I call them mandingos, but they had those men going into women and having more babies so they can have more slaves. Not only were they going into the women, the slave owners, they were also letting their sons and men go into the men. So see, that's what y'all say. I put you in a land in which you will like unto. Y'all want to curse Yah and make him a lie, so you all can teach the truth in a lie. No, I ain't gonna say teach the truth in a lie. Teach a lie in a lie, and the people eats and feed off of it. But the truth be told, tribe of Judah, you's an ugly nation, and always be. The way you cut up from the floor on the land flowing with milk and honey, Yah said he brought you to the land that was just like you was cutting up. You didn't know that, do it. Read Ezekiel 36 and Jeremiah and Isaiah. You was cutting up, bro. And you got everybody food that everybody bothering you and don't understand. Only one bothered you was that right hand of the Father who brought your tear right where you at today. I end that. I end that. And I say unto you, I hope that you got something out of it and that you understand that you messed up from the floor. Because Sister Deborah done told you all, and you all need to spread it, that there was an end game to Deuteronomy 28 because he knew we wasn't coming out of here with anything righteous in our hearts. And he gave us 400 years and we still didn't do it. But don't forget, he gave us thousands of years before that. We still didn't do it. Our forefathers got left in the wilderness. They didn't do it. You got to the promised land. You didn't do it. The only reason why you're over here because you was doing exactly what they doing to you over here and they did to you. You was doing it over in your promised land. You thought y'all didn't see it, didn't you? Y'all backed that thing up and told through his word that I brought you to a land like unto the way you were in your land. So everything you see them doing over here, you were doing already. So I, Sister Deborah, say, I hope you got something out of it. And I hope you're enjoying your Sabbath day. And seek Yah in spirit and in truth. Don't let nobody ever tell you or rob you anymore because they have robbed you 100% already, y'all. They have not given you spirit and truth. And the truth of the matter, you can't be saved. You can't fall under the spirit of Yah without believing. And you first have to know what you believe in. It's not just saying, oh, I believe, I'm saved now. Believe in what man been teaching, what man has read to you, and not believe in what is spirit and what is true. So our sister Deborah says, shalom and shalom.